We're glad that you have joined us.
Some of our top stories this quarter. Africa unites for religious liberty at the 3rd Africa Religious Liberty Congress in Kigali, Rwanda.
ECD crosses 4 million member mark.
And TMI campaigns officially launch in South Sudan and Ethiopia.
More than 500 delegates from more than 30 African nations and diverse religious backgrounds attended the 3rd All-Africa Religious Liberty Congress in Kigali, Rwanda in October of 2018. The event was sponsored by the All-Africa Religious Liberty Association, a branch of the International Religious Liberty Association, or IRLA. The IRLA is an independent, non-sectarian organization created by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in 1889 to promote religious liberty for all, regardless of religious affiliation. At the Congress, freedom of conscience and religious liberty was presented as a fundamental human right. The Congress leaders expressed gratitude to the government of Rwanda for its firm and pragmatic support of this human right through its generous support of event. Rwandan cabinet minister in the office of President of the Republic was in attendance along with the Rwandan Minister of Justice, Johnson Busingye. The completion of a very successful Congress was celebrated by more than 30,000 attendees at a religious freedom celebration at the Amahoro National Stadium. Pathfinder drill teams and choirs from across Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo performed, and dignitaries such as Dr. Blasius Ruguri, Chairman of the AARLC, Chief Justice David Maraga of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Rwandan Minister of Justice Johnson Busingye, and IRLA Global Chairman Dr. Gnu Diop served as keynote presenters during the festive event. Information about the All-Africa Religious Liberty Association can be found by visiting the aarla.org.
The East Central Africa Division is quickly moving forward with the formal organization of ASI ministries in the region. ASI stands for Adventist Laymen's Services and Industries, which is a ministry of the Seventh-day Adventist Church that serves the needs of busy Adventist entrepreneurs and professionals, as well as supporting ministries. These Adventist members seek to unite their gifts, talents, and resources to advance the work of the Seventh-day Adventist Church by sharing Christ in the marketplace. Among those which have officially organized ASI as part of the union structure are East Congo Union Mission and South Sudan Attached Territory. ECD ASI Director, American entrepreneur and pastor Emmanuel Pelot congratulated the groups on their progress, stating that mission-driven efforts in the marketplace are crucial to the future of the Adventist Church. ECD ASI will provide encouragement and discipleship to these members and encourage them as they sacrificially use their gifts and talents for Christ. More than 1,500 people were in attendance at the official launch of ASI in Juba, South Sudan, in October 2018.
In West Congo, 2 ASI ministries recently worked together with church leaders to establish a new church and school in a previously unentered area. Precious Present Truth Ministries is a ministry which broadcasts Adventist messages on radio, television, and on the internet in several African languages. In late 2018, the Precious Present Truth Ministries television broadcast was rebroadcast over a local radio station near the rural Congolese town of Shela. The radio broadcast led to 19 people seeking Bible studies and support from the Adventist Church. As there were no Adventist churches in that area, another ASI ministry called Train Them to Fish, which focuses on French language evangelistic initiatives, provided a Bible worker for the little flock. Soon, all 19 requested baptism. Because the government schools hold classes and exams during Sabbath hours, the new believers requested the church plan a small school for their children to attend. With the support and assistance of West Congo Union Mission and the Lower Congo Field plans for a new school were organized. When registrations were opened for the community, leaders were surprised at the overwhelming response as more than 850 students registered for the new Adventist school in 2 weeks. Currently, the school operates in a rented facility, and the families in this new Adventist community are requesting prayer and assistance as they seek to build a church and school of their own.
According to official statistics, the East Central Africa Division is the first division in the history of the Seventh-day Adventist Church to surpass the 4 million member mark. Church leaders reported that this milestone achievement would not have been possible without the efforts of so many members through the powerful TMI campaigns in the region. Pastor Joel Okindo, Evangelism Director for the division, urged members to remember that TMI is not a campaign, it is a lifestyle, he said. Division President Blesius Ruguri congratulated members and leaders on the achievement and encouraged them to remain faithful in their efforts by saying, "We thank God for his marvelous achievement here in ECD. No one should become overly satisfied because we are still very far from reaching the more than 400 million others that are with us in this territory. As God has helped us this far, we may be sure that he will remain faithful to us as we also remain faithful to him."
2 major TMI campaigns have been launched in South Sudan and Ethiopia for 2019. These efforts designed to engage every member of the church in a lifestyle of witness and support for the spread of the gospel. In order to reach the more than 120 million combined inhabitants of these 2 nations, more than 2,000 sites for evangelistic efforts are planned. Many believe that God has opened the door for these total member involvement campaigns by leading national leaders to create conditions of peace at levels which have not been seen for decades in those countries. Hundreds of health trainers, evangelists, musicians, and others will be joining the existing Adventist members in these nations to provide health programs, support communities, and share the good news of Christ's soon return. Pray that these efforts will be successful in bringing even more peace and hope to those living in the region for such a time as this.
The East Central Africa Division has appointed a new president to lead the Burundi Union Mission. In November 2018, Pastor Lamek Barishinga was selected to lead the church in the territory as they seek to effectively disciple the more than 30,000 new members that were gained from the 2018 TMI campaigns. All members are urged to pray that God will bless these new members, the church in Burundi, and the new union president as they seek to reach the nation for Christ.
The West Kenya Union Conference held a mission extravaganza in Kisumu in December 2018. The event was in celebration of the blessings that God has given to the Seventh-day Adventist Church since the work began at the port of Kendu Bay in 1906. The ministry that was begun at that time has grown throughout all of East Central Africa, which now has more than 4 million members. Over 500,000 members are located in the West Kenya Union, which was formed just 4 years ago in 2014, in an effort to provide more efficient leadership to the growing membership of the church in that area. The celebrations included several events. There was an evangelistic campaign in November 2018, which culminated in a music extravaganza, where more than 50 choirs participated. Communities were cleaned by church members, medical assistance was provided, as well as food, clothing, literature, and other needed items for community members who were in need. The church welcomed all members of the community to participate and be served, regardless of their religious affiliation. Speaking of the extravaganza event, West Kenya Union President Dr. Samuel Misiani stated that it is mission like never before.
Women's Ministries in East Central Africa Division continues to make great efforts to disciple members and reach the community for Christ. In September of 2018, the second annual Congress of Women's Ministries took place in Kipushi in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Congress was attended by more than 800 women who worked with ADRA to offer free treatment, shoes, and other items to widows, children, orphans, and others in the community who were in need. From November 8 to 10 at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, more than 3,000 women graduated from a leadership program offered by the Women's Ministries. Another 4,000 women are awaiting their graduation ceremony as there was no sufficient capacity to graduate all of these accomplished women at one event. These women demonstrated the strength of their calling as they presented plans to use their resources to build community centers, reach out to the needy in their communities, and provide spiritual care to the overlooked people in the societies. One impressive project that was presented was designed to bring the love of Christ and redemption to those involved in prostitution. General Conference Associate Women's Ministries Director Raquel Arise delivered a powerful message of healing and empowerment to the graduates and student body at the culmination of the event.
So the key word for women in the church today, in order for them to expand their potential and to follow God's call in their lives, is training. So that's why it's so relevant to be part of this gathering and inform women in their skills and their gifts under what God has called them to do.
In December of last year, about 1,000 teachers, pastors, and administrators from Adventist schools across the division and the General Conference participated in a faith and science conference at the Gahogo Adventist Academy in Rwanda. The conference featured scientists and theologians from around the world who presented powerful information supporting the biblical record of creation. Lisa Beardsley Hardy, General Conference Director of Education, attended the event along with her counterpart, Dr. Andrew Mutero, Education Director for the East Central Africa Division. A special part of the event occurred when Pastor Ed Zinke, a key promoter of the Faith and Science program for the General Conference, dedicated the new Ed and Ann Zinke Auditorium on the campus where the event was held.
Beginning on Christmas Eve 2018, an important conference for public campus ministries was held at the University of Arusha in Tanzania. Hundreds of student leaders from across the division were in attendance. The public campus ministries addresses the need of Adventist students who attend public and other non-Adventist schools. Dr. Juan Moon, Director for the General Conference Public Campus Ministries, congratulated Pastor Mwakalonge, Director for PCM for the East Central Africa Division, on the excellent conference preparation that had been done. Public Campus Ministries is a critical ministry that helps young Adventists represent their faith on campuses that can sometimes be hostile to their Christian faith. Adventist scientists presented evidence for the biblical account of creation at the conference to counter unproven theories of evolution which are counter to biblical and scientific evidence.
ECD President Blasius Riguri showed that TMI is for every member of the church, as he led by example in his hometown in Kenya over the holiday period. From December 16th through the 29th of December, at more than 20 sites, Pastor Riguri's hometown was blessed by visitors from throughout the division and around the world who joined him in reaching out to his community. Health professionals and ministers, choirs, and dynamic evangelists from around the world donated their own means and time along with Pastor Riguri in an effort to claim this village for Christ. This time of year was chosen because it was a time when Pastor Riguri was able to take vacation. This is not an ECD campaign. It is my personal campaign to do my part for my village and to set the example for total member involvement. I am so thankful to God and to so many volunteers who join me in making personal efforts to reach this community for Christ.
Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of ECD Quarterly.
Join us next time as we will be sharing more news and inspiration from the East and Central Africa Division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Until then, may God richly bless you.
Take care.